Mike Cox has served our nation as a Marine and the public at the local and state levels, prosecutor in Wayne County, now serving his second term as Michigan's Attorney General. In listing his accomplishments, he says he is proud of fighting on behalf of consumers to keep utility and insurance rates lower, taking on prescription drug companies over their prices, and helping steer citizens through the threat of mortgage foreclosure. He's the chief executive of the state's largest law firm as our Attorney General. And now he is, as you know, seeking the Republican nomination for governor, Mike Cox.
Thank you very much, and of course, thank you to Medefco for putting this on. I want to apologize. I had committed to a Tea Party in Port Huron earlier, so I apologize for my dress as well. But I also want to thank the good folks from Medefco for putting on a great Tea Party on Sunday. How many people were there? Absolutely. You know, a couple things. I missed some of the questions. I just walked in. If you have any questions, and there's a limited amount of time, but I suggest you go to Mike Cox 2010. If you go there in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a plan I put out 6 months ago, actually the day after Labor Day. It's called Putting Michigan Back to Work. It's 64 pages, 92 different ideas, some big, some small, but all of them about turning Michigan around, including a $2 billion tax cut. Now, and you can clap for that. I think that's a pretty good idea, don't you? And in fact, you can go there and you can see definitive cuts put in black and white, because I'm not afraid of my positions. I'm not afraid to put my positions down in black and white in paper. And I challenge you to look at anyone else who's running for governor who will do that for you. But in addition to do that, I wanted you to think about three issues. Because part of this movement is about respecting the Constitution, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So I want you to think first and foremost about racial preferences. When I read my Constitution, I don't see anything about racial preferences in there, do you? No. Absolutely not. So think back to 2006 and think what politician, what elected official of either party stood up for Michigan Civil Rights Initiative to fight for equal protection under the law. You will find two people, Brooks Patterson and myself. That's what respect for the Constitution and the idea of liberty is all about. Another issue, Second Amendment. I believe the Second Amendment is respected in this room, isn't it? Absolutely. I have this idea that wherever the Second Amendment is under assault, it's under assault here as well. So that if lawmakers in Congress want to pass a D.C. handgun ban and take the Second Amendment away from the good residents of D.C., I think that's an assault on our rights here. And that's why last year I went and supported the NRA along with just 5 other attorney generals to say in the case of D.C. versus Heller that in fact, that Americans, every single one of us, under the Second Amendment has a right to keep and bear arms for our individual use. And the Supreme Court sided with us. And so when you Google everyone who's running for governor, you will see that. And you also see others who, why they didn't vote necessarily in Congress to take the Second Amendment away from other Americans, they advocated against liberalizing Michigan's old CCW law. And in fact, you go in the Free Press and you can find some folks who advocated against you all, regular citizens, getting increased access to use your rights under the Second Amendment and Article 1, Section 6 of our Constitution. I ask you to do some research and you're going to find out a little bit more about who's protecting your rights and who hasn't been. Last issue, really quick. There is no bigger fight in the fight for liberty and freedom right now than what's gone on with Obama's health care. And while the governor may have had to spend the last week in Western Europe trying to find someone to support Obamacare because she couldn't find anyone here, I'm proud to say within 90 minutes of the president signing that abomination, I and 4 other attorney generals went into federal court in Florida, and we filed a lawsuit against that to protect your rights. Because I only am doing what you would do as regular citizens. See, of anyone running for governor, outside of Rick Snyder, I'm the one with the least amount of time in elected office. So I still kind of think like a regular citizen still. I still think like a regular citizen still. And you know what's great? After the 5 of us filed, now 15 other states have come on board. Just yesterday, Georgia is up to 20 states. I guarantee it's going to go to the United States Supreme Court, and we'll get the right result. Thank you very, very much.